Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell. So every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Man, let's talk about Walmart, shall we? Recently, there was a big story about Walmart closing 4 stores in the Chicago area. Now, let's be honest. As we watch the news, read our papers, we noticed that Chicago has a lot of crime. Matter of fact, I did a video on Walmart closing, I believe it was in Portland, Oregon. And you know, one of the main things they said, the biggest thing is theft. The biggest issues is theft, from internally and externally. I remember one time I told y'all a story about there was a Walmart out here in the Dallas area, where about 3 or 4 years ago, there was a meeting, like a corporate meeting or a regional meeting, what have you, and it said that this Walmart was the most profitable Walmart in the region. And 2 years later, this closed down because of theft, losing money. And what's crazy is people actually believe that businesses should stay open when they're losing money. There's no way in the world that people should stay in any type of relationship or an agreement if there's nothing but negativity happening. Matter of fact, let's just get into a couple of these videos that I want y'all to listen to and we're going to comment on, because when you hear these stories, stuff like this initially, you can't get emotionally drawn into it, because you'll see black faces, you'll see politicians, religious leaders, some white people will be in there, and they'll get out there and they'll protest and they'll holler and they'll be upset at the world. They want you to be upset because they're upset because what's happening is not fair, in their words. But then once you sit back and look at the situation as a whole, you gotta kind of put the blame where blame is due. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and play some of this audio and we'll get into it, all right?
Walmart, you should be absolutely ashamed of yourself.
One single and abrupt announcement, the nation's largest retailer appears to have sunk 4 Chicago neighborhoods deeper into a food desert.
Walmart said these stores are closing because they've never made any money. Well, how come Drew and other agencies stay in our communities and they make money? They talk about theft. Please, Walmart, stop using that stereotype. That the black community is always about theft. Putting that stereotype on the people who live here and on the community. Bring us some data.
And here, what he's saying, like I say, you're hearing that and trying to, I don't know, bringing in racism. This is the older white man trying to talk about racism, which I just don't like that. The two don't go together with me. But anyway, talking about that Walmart is stereotyping and saying that, theft is in the black community. Well, no, theft is not in the black community. Theft is in communities where there are no jobs, low income, little to no wages, people out of work, unemployment, crime, city bus line. You put all that together. Like I said, I did a video on Walmart closing all their stores in a certain part of Portland, Oregon. Same thing. And when you look at the pictures, when you look at the video of the people who were in that community, the majority of that community was white people. So with that, could you holler racism about that? Heck no, you couldn't. Like how could you? So this isn't, like I said, about racism. One thing I learned about this economy, about this country is, yes, it's full of racism. Yes, it will not go anywhere. It'll be here for a grip. It'll probably be here till the end of time. But when you involve money, money makes racism go away. You will be surprised. Like, quick story. When I was back in the day working in a warehouse, young, working 8 hours a day, making not even $10 an hour. One day it was a special event. I won't go into what it was, but I had no car because my car's in the shop. Had a guy I work with take me to this jewelry store to purchase some items, right? Get in there like just fresh off of work. So, come out the warehouse sweating, wear my Dickie suit, all that kind of stuff. Go in there and you walk in, two brothers walking into a jewelry store. So ain't nobody in there but like 2 or 3 cashiers and a police/security guard. And like I said, I was young, so I didn't know no better at the time. Nowadays, I know how I would do things differently now. But anyway, back to the story. Went in there, got very little service, got half-ass service. The cashier, what you want to call it, sales lady, gave me the thought, that she didn't want to deal with us, but I needed this product and I needed it, and this is the only place this is the only time I would have to buy it. So, the only way I can get it was with this guy, driving with this guy, or riding this guy in his car. So I felt I had no choice. But I knew my goal was to go in, spend a certain amount of money, and I was going to use their credit. I was going to fill out a credit app. I knew my credit was good at the time, so I wasn't worried about it. So I go in there and say, yeah, I want this here, and I want to use your credit. So they gave me a little application, filled it out. They went, lady took it to the back, whatever. Now we walking around looking around the store, and we just looking at all this. You're like, man, it's not, man, it's nice. You know what I'm saying? They're looking at us, but they're not really paying us no attention. Then, I called a lady over, wanted to look at something that was expensive. So I knew I wasn't going to buy it, just looking at it, and, put it back, whatever. From across the room, the other lady who ran the credit check hollered out a certain amount of money, which was like a high in the thousands. And all of a sudden, everybody in that store wanted to help. They wanted me to buy the most expensive pieces. I'm like, nope, this is what I came for. This is what I'm going to get. Pack it up. Actually, they try to upsell me. All of them, wrapping my gift. All of them now. Taking part in wrapping my gift, putting it in the bag, bows and all that kind of stuff. Just all nice to me. But what I say is, yes, when you walk in, there's racism. But somehow, money and credit kind of makes people forget about it. Most people, not all, because you still got some people who just don't want to deal with you, and that's understandable. You got these stereotypes about you, no matter what you do. But I'm just saying, from past experiences, like I said, money make a lot of problems go away. So, okay, let's get back.
And bring us some data of all your Walmarts and the theft that's going on everywhere.
And most of this stuff, I'm gonna tell y'all, back to the Walmart in Dallas, is internal. A lot of it is internal. You got people who give people discounts. People go in the stores and say, hey, come through my line. And I worked at Walmart years ago, so I know. When people say, hey, come through my line, I'll get you, I check this, we'll scan this and walk out or whatever, come back here. It happens, man. It just happens.
A small group gathered today demanding answers and for the large corporation to hear their pleas.
This Walmart belongs to us. And that's where we're fighting to make sure that corporate America gets to the point that without a client, without us, there is no corporate America.
So here's what he needs to understand. No, Walmart does not belong to you unless you own some stock in Walmart, unless you're one of the shareholders. I understand what he's trying to say, that, Walmart should be there to service the people, which is exactly what they should be there doing. But if Walmart says, hey, there's theft, there's crime, we're losing so much money every year, what are you as a consumer doing to help curb that behavior? From the store all the way to your house. What are you teaching your kids? What kind of rules and regulations are you implementing? What kind of punishment are you putting in? And what kind of rewards are you giving for good behavior or whatever? What are you doing to keep those people who are stealing from Walmart, stealing from your store. Since Walmart belongs to you, what are you doing to stop the theft? Do you walk and monitor the stores? Do you walk and monitor your neighborhoods? Do you check the kids or the youngsters or the troublemakers in your neighborhood? Do you go to schools and volunteer? Do you go to churches and demand that they volunteer, provide services, after school services, programs, STEM programs, because you're gonna need it, especially when I get to this, get to this next part, but you're gonna need that for these youngsters so they can have something to look forward to when it comes to making money, to be able to provide for their families. Because it's just more than just saying, hey, Walmart belongs to us, so you should stay in this neighborhood. That ain't how it works.
Others went so far as to call the decision corporate racism that will prompt nationwide repercussions.
If Walmart doesn't invest in the people here, we will disinvest across the entire nation. Everybody say enough is enough.
Do you say enough is enough from stealing? See, there you go. You still blaming Walmart for leaving. Walmart is a business. These type of people, to me, seem like the type of people that would stay in a abusive relationship or a relationship that is going downhill and has no way of. Because what they want you to do is, let's say, or an abusive family, or what's called a family that's users. When I say like abuser, because I mean like not just like physical abuse, but like how people abuse you, because everybody use you, everybody will use each other. That's just the way life is. I'll use you for what you got, you'll use me for what I got to help benefit, so we can help benefit each other. But misuse and abuse is when you take what people give you for granted and just expect them to do for you no matter what you do for them, even if you provide nothing, even if all you do is take, but you expect that person to always be there for you. That's what this sounds like. That's what is the issue I feel in a lot of the black community. I don't know what happens in other communities. I don't live there. Never been there. But this is where that becomes a problem. Let's say you got let's say you got a young boy, say you got a single mom, got a young boy, and the boy is just sorry. The mom is always there bailing him out since he was a little baby, bailing him out situations, always, caping for him in school when he wasn't doing his work. You go to school and beg and plead. When he get in trouble at school, you go to school, raise hell. Talk about my baby ain't like that. You ain't finna disrespect my child, blah, blah, blah. You better not touch my child. You can't punch my child. What about the white kids? Stuff like that. But when the son is at home, all he doing is playing video games or sitting in his room all day doing nothing. He out the streets all night. You're not really monitoring this guy. You're not disciplining this guy when he do wrong. He gets away with what he wants to. But when someone calls him out for it, you get upset. So anyway, this boy grows up and you've done everything for him. So now when he gets older, he doesn't know how to be a man. He doesn't know how to do. He doesn't do what men do, how to take care of himself. So he'll go out there and try to do stuff because it looks good. But in his heart and his soul, he just don't know how to do it. So every time he look up, but he knows that he has you to fall back on. He knows that you will pick up the slack and will bail him out every time because of what you've always done. Early years, his teens, his 20s, 30s, 40s, grown man, can't do crap for himself. And then one day you say, hey, son, I've lost it all. I'm losing everything. I gotta go back to work. I got a bad hip, bad knee. I've seen a lot of nurses in the medical field. A lot of nurses who were like in their 70s and 80s still nursing. And I'm sitting here thinking like, damn, why? There's no reason in the world that people this old should still be working. But when you talk to them, they talking about their sons and daughters, how they still taking care of them, still taking care of grandbabies. I say, man, I refuse at that age. You ain't finna drive me. I mean, you ain't finna break me down and kill me. That's not fair. I've done my job. I've done what I need to do. You know, so I raised you. If you gotta struggle, you gotta struggle. That's just what you gotta do. I mean, now if you are doing things to make better your life, I can deal with that. I can understand that. But anything else, I can't do it. So you can't provide for him, and now he's saying it's not fair. We made a deal that you were gonna be my mom and you're gonna take care of me. No, player, if you are steadily taking and not giving, and all I'm doing is draining, and you're killing me and destroying me, eventually I have to say enough is enough. And that's what Walmart is doing. Walmart is saying, hey, we've been here for years. Man, let me keep playing the video because I'm going to read the Walmart statement.
We will go from Chicago to Indiana to Michigan and every state where there's a Walmart. And the same black and brown people who make this store will be the same black and brown people that walk away from this store.
And you're the same black and brown people who is destroying the store.
They said that they lost so much money, but every single day, Walmart trades on what's called the stock market. When they lose money, they adjust to make money. If they lost so much money in these stores, where was the adjustment to make sure that they didn't lose money?
Hold on. Okay. Let me go ahead and read this statement because that's a good question. Where was the adjustment made? So Walmart actually put out a statement on April 11th. And it says, let me scan through it. Today we have made the difficult decision to close 4 of our stores in Chicago. The decision to close the store is never easy. The impact is greater than just closing the building. It affects people who work in, shop in, and live in communities near the stores. You gotta put that in consideration that these outrages are not understanding. People work there. People are working there making money, probably not making a whole lot of money. People are working there. You think somebody who's coming in to help the community want to close stores? Because all you're doing is putting more people out of jobs anyway. And we never take that lightly. Treating people in communities with respect and compassion during this transition will guide everything we do. For example, all associates in these stores are eligible to transfer to another Walmart location. Hiring managers from surrounding facilities will be in each of these stores this week to help associates begin finding their next opportunity. I don't know much about Chicago, but I'm assuming they have like public transportation. So now you have people who were making, let's say, minimum wage, and they was able to live in that. They lived in the community. They probably walked to work, drove to work, caught the bike to work. Not costing a whole lot of money in transportation fees because it. Most likely, especially the ones that are making the least amount of money, it's in the neighborhood. So now you got these Walmarts closing thanks to the lack of making money. So now they got to catch buses across town, which means they got to readjust their life time-wise to be able to accommodate the hours that they got to work. So they got to get up earlier, be out later. Well, now they got to drive further to Walmart, and then they got to put more gas in their car. So not only were they already making a small amount of money, now they got to spend more on these high astronomical gas prices. It said, let me see. It says now. So the activists tried to say that Walmart wasn't in the community. Now I'm just going by this little corporate letter. It says, having an active role in the community is especially important to us. We are proud of our neighborhood investments through local events like Christmas and Awards, the Always Giving Back Foundation Bike Giveaway, Shy Gives Back MLK Day, the Bud Lincoln Day Parade, and more. So it seems like they were activists in the community. We will continue working with local organizations, creating solutions to challenges faced by the city and country, including racial inequality and food deserts. We continue to help create and expand job opportunities, and will leverage our resources to help strengthen the community, especially those underserved. We know the community will have questions about why we are closing these locations. The simplest explanation is that collectively, our Chicago stores have not been profitable since we opened the first one nearly 17 years ago. So you have, so you have a company who has created a partnership with the community, so to say. 17 years ago to bring you food and merchandise that you didn't have because I guess it was a food desert. 17 years ago, came in the community to try to bring jobs, make money pretty much. I mean, come to make money, yes, but you also create jobs and you create convenience for people to get their needs. And this letter says these stores lose tens of millions of dollars a year and their annual losses nearly double in just the last 5 years. You know why? Because number one, inflation is up. Thanks to unemployment, thanks to those free benefits, during the pandemic, which everybody's getting all these free checks and getting these free benefits because they couldn't work because they were scared to go to work. But what people don't realize is eventually these folks gonna want their money back. Oh, ain't nobody give you nothing for free. I've told my kids this years ago. When you go to a store and say buy one, get one free, or people giving you free samples, trust me, people will not give you something that they are going to miss, number one. And number two, they are going to get their money back on the back end without fail, without question. So you think, when we're talking about the government here, do you think the government just going to give you free money? Do y'all even know where money comes from? That's what I'm saying. It's not even backed by anything. This is just, the government just prints money as they want and say, here you go, we're going to give you a few dollars. Now you might say, man, that's jacked up because they gave Ukraine billions upon billions of dollars. Actually, gave them a blank check, which yes, it seems like they did it, but when it comes to their own people, they won't do that. Well, the problem thing is they're only going to give away what they won't miss or what they know they can get back. If they give all this money to Ukraine, trust me, if they give Ukraine $1 billion, I guarantee you somehow they're going to get back at least $1 billion plus in some form or fashion. Maybe it's through the war where who going to buy all your military weapons. You know what I'm saying? When you're training these soldiers, they got to pay for training. Once the debt is due, they're going to, say, hey, what kind of resources do you have in the country that we can get as a as repayment? Oh, they're gonna get their money back. Don't worry about that. So when they give us these stimulus checks and act like they're doing us a favor, man, they're not doing us no favor. They are saying, here you go, we're gonna give you a little few $100s, but come tax time, we're gonna need that money back. Come next year, when we cut all this stuff off, oh, trust me, we're gonna get it back through inflation, interest rate, high gas prices, things of that nature. And when it happens, y'all are gonna be like, I can't believe they're doing this. Well, the hell, this is just stuff you need to know, and this stuff we need to teach the youngins, because they need to understand how this world is. They said the remaining 4 Chicago stores continue to face the same business difficulties, but we think this decision gives us the best chance to help keep them open and serving the community. So they're not closing all the stores, they're only closing like 4 out of 8. But they're gonna leave the other ones open and try to move the employees there so they can continue to stay open. Because if Walmart shuts down, what do you have, period? You have zero, you have nothing. I mean, for them to try to, let me see. Let's read this. Over the years, we have tried many different strategies because God asked, what has Walmart done to try to balance out, to try to compensate for these losses doing something else? It says here, over the years, we have tried many different strategies to improve the business performance of these locations, including building smaller stores, localizing product assortment, and offering services beyond traditional retail. We have invested hundreds of millions of dollars in the city including $70 million in the last couple of years to upgrade our stores and build 2 new Walmart health facilities in the Walmart Academy Training Center. It was hoped that these investments would help improve our store's performance. Unfortunately, these efforts have not materially improved the fundamental business challenges our stores are facing. It says community and city leaders have been open and supportive as we met with them over the years to share these challenges. As we looked for solutions, it became even more clear for these stores there was nothing leaders could do to help us to the point where they would be profitable. You see what I'm saying? You got these guys, I said this guy here hollering, Walmart belongs to us, right? Walmart's their store. But you out here complaining, but you have no solution. I go back to Reverend Bishop Pastor Tony Evans down in Dallas. I remember watching the sermon he did years ago, and I hold a sentiment that he said when he said, I don't mind complainers. I don't mind complaints, just hate people that just complain and don't have any solution. You can complain, but if you have no solution, no idea, it may be a dumb idea, but have something. If you got nothing to offer to balance what's going on, then keep your mouth shut. That's the way I see it. So you have city leaders, county leaders who are upset that Walmart is leaving, and Walmart said, help me help you, help me help you. And these city leaders had nothing. These Democratic leaders had nothing. So if you have nothing, I have nothing. Because I have created stores. I have created programs. I have created pharmacies. I did everything I could. I'm active in the community. I've done everything that I feel that I possibly can, that I could think of, to make sure because my store makes a profit. And in turn, if I make a profit, then we can invest more into the community. We can invest more in the community than what you're investing. So help me. And so it seems that they had no solution. So Walmart is like, well, if that's the case, then I'm out. And you can't be mad at that. You cannot be mad at that. If say you're in a marriage and it's like tumultuous and it's about to break up, and one of y'all say, hey, let's go to counseling. Let's go, I don't know, to church. Let's do more things together. And the other person is like, nah, that's not gonna work. Nah, I don't think that'll work. But nah, that I don't want to put my business out there in the street like that. Nah, I don't want to be out in the public with the COVID, with the pandemic going on. I don't want to get sick. Then the other person got the right to say, then I'm out. If you have no solution, because we tried things my way and it doesn't work, and you don't like it, so what's your way? And you have no solution, then I'm out. And that's the same thing Walmart is doing. People, you have to understand these community activists, or just people, everybody in general. If you are not producing in your community, don't expect somebody else to come into your community and to fix the problems that you have. I'm not mad at Walmart. I'm not mad at all. But I know where Walmart, but here's what, well, let me finish this up.
We deserve to be able to shop, work, play in our own community.
And he's right. He deserves, well, let me say, those law-abiding, tax-paying, non-crime committing citizens deserve that. I'll say that. If you're doing right, you paying your taxes, you working in the community, trying to build a community, yes, you deserve to be able to live in your community freely, walk the streets, go shop anywhere you want to, spend your money freely, and not have to worry about prices being inflated, not have to worry about going to stores and what you want ain't there because somebody stole it, not having to worry about somebody robbing you when you go to the ATM machine, or when you walk out to your car, somebody trying to carjack you, when you got when you got a cart full of groceries. You shouldn't have to deal with that. But unfortunately, a lot of people do. Let's continue. All right, Mom,
Walmart, make a decision. Sit down and talk with us. Have a conversation with us. Have all these elected officials here. We also have influence on anything else Walmart wants to do in the city of Chicago.
I said, my Father Michael Fligger, pastor of Saint Sabina Church. Oh, she got a white pastor out there saying, Walmart need to chill out.
Illinois. So Walmart, you better listen, you better sit down. Otherwise, understand that this will be the always going to be closed down because we're not going to keep supporting places that disrespect the community.
What kind of threat is that? You saying that if you close this store down, you got to close all your stores down. What? Then where's your dumb ass gonna shop? I mean, sometimes people say things that don't make sense, and then you got people in the black background actually clapping and cheering this mess on. I don't get it.
This is unacceptable, and we won't allow it anymore.
Well, anyway, it's enough of that one there, because I mean, like I said, if you're not helping your community, now you're a pastor. What is the church doing in that community to make sure, like say, these kids learn some kind of trade, to be in a STEM program, so that when they in high school, junior high school, and get out of school, they're able to feed themselves and feed their families. If you're not doing anything like that, if all you're doing is praying and hoping and wishing, and ain't nothing wrong with prayer, but remember the scriptures say prayer without works is dead. So if that's all you're doing, then you're not going to you're gonna continue, things are gonna continue to get shut down because you're not helping you're not helping at all. But then you segue to, like I said, Walmart has thefts. And then I saw this one little article where there's a Target in San Francisco where every item in the store is behind glass because people are stealing. People don't want to believe that people are stealing out your neighborhood. Just because you're not stealing doesn't mean the person that's in the line behind you or the person in the line in front of you is not stealing. Or that the cashier that's checking you out is not stealing. Doesn't have, I don't know, some candy or some chips sitting in their pocket and or behind the register and they munch on it and they ain't paid for it yet. It does not mean that's not what's happening, because that is what's happening. You think you open 365 days nearly, you don't think that people, that you have one person steal every day for 365 days, let's say they steal $100 every day, that's $300,000. Then there's $400,000 in theft, potentially, if one person does this every day. Now imagine 5, 10, 20, 100 people doing this every day. That's how you lose the money. But anyway, like I said, I want to show y'all that Walmart and all these other stores, they have a way to remedy the situation, and you're not going to like it. Since you cannot come up with ways to curb this theft, curb this crime, they got ways to do it. One, like I said, they can glass up everything in the store. They can put, remember they did a story where they did, what they do? They put theft tags on freaking meat because people are stealing, and I can understand. Yes, you can go to the government and say, hey, inflation, unemployment, high prices, people can't afford to live no more. That's right, but you've been warned out of these stores saying, hey, they're automating everything, they're moving you out. Anybody doing manual labor, you need to find a way to learn a trade that one is either in STEM or STEAM, whatever they call it, or you need to become like a nurse or a doctor or something to where that robots right now cannot come in and replace you at this moment or for like the next, at least for a while in the foreseeable future. Because they're not going to fire everybody, but everybody needs to know something about this dang computers and this software stuff. You got to, because if not, like I said, you're going to get left behind. You can holler for $15 an hour. But one, They're gonna get rid of somebody in order to pay you $15 an hour. But then what they're gonna do is they're gonna automate stuff to where that person can be replaced by a computer, so they ain't gotta worry about that. And then they're gonna find a way to get you out. So real quick, I wanna play one more little video. This is about Walmart betting on automation to boost productivity and profits. Let's see. May show a commercial first. I don't know.
Walmart looking to the future. The company betting big on automation to boost productivity and profits. Melissa Repko back in studio after attending the company's investment community meeting down in Tampa. And I know one of the things that stood out to you, Melissa, is how much automation Walmart is bringing to its distribution centers.
Yes, Walmart really emphasized how it is using automation to boost profits and how this will be a major push in the coming years as it tries to kind of squeeze every drop out of sales. Of course, as sales are moving online, those sales become more expensive. And so it's looking at ways to do that more smartly, and one of the ways is by speeding things along with the help of robots.
And that certainly implies fewer people.
Now, I want y'all to pay attention to the answer that she's about to give. Because although Walmart can seem like the victim, that answer, they still can be full of BS. But pay attention to what she's saying, what she's about to say.
Well, that is a question that came up, and I asked Doug McMillon that, CEO Doug McMillon, and he said he does not anticipate that it will actually shrink the number of headcount, but it may shift them to other parts of the company. So instead of having as many people at the fulfillment centers or the distribution centers like the one we saw, and both are being automated in different ways, they might be helping with curbside pickup orders. They might be personal shoppers at the store running around once those robots help replenish shelves and either packing them in a box or getting them ready for someone to pick up outside the store.
So here's the issue about what she's saying. I worked in a warehouse years ago for about a decade or so. And over time they started to automate the process. Now, when I was in the warehouse, I remember seeing these old men working there just, killing themselves. And I said to myself at that time, man, I'm not doing this forever. I got to find a way to get up out of there. So that's what I did. It was a long process, but I did it. And now I'm, can enjoy the benefits of my labor and I'm continuing to work and do better and do more. So the game don't stop. But as they automate and they move people over to different positions, eventually you're going to have to downsize. Because one robot, let's say you work in, the hell, they got a photo. Let's say you work in, say you work in a McDonald's. Let's just keep it at Walmart. Let's say you're working in Walmart and you are a cashier, right? And now they created these. They say, well, all we're going to do is we're going to create more self-checkout. You're like, all right, self-checkout, because man, we never have nobody working out here. Every time I go out here, I'm working. It's like I feel like I'm the only cashier to come in. Got people that don't show up to work. Y'all ain't hiring nobody. We only have like 2 or 3 cashiers out here on the floor. We got like 20 registers. Yeah, this is great. Okay, so they do the self-checkout. And so they have like 5 cashiers. So, okay, well, basically all I need is 2 cashiers, and the rest of y'all, I can have 1 or 2 stand here and watch people. If they got a problem, you go over there, help them out. So, okay, we'll keep those 5. But then they come out with this software where they can scan everything that's in your basket. Remember, Amazon got stores like this now. That everything in your basket, somehow they got some kind of whatever. It can scan everything in that basket, and the price will come up, and you pay for it. You walk out the store. So now I don't need anybody to monitor to see. I don't even need loss prevention, for the most part, to monitor to see what's being taken out. Because you have seen lately that they have a lot of people complaining because they're getting these these citations and and getting police coming to their house and trying to arrest them, or they getting papers saying they need to come to court, because they're stealing out of Walmart, and people are like, I ain't stole nothing. You know, and then they find out they forgot to scan an item, and somehow mis-scan the item, and now they're getting prosecuted for it. And yes, that costs money, that costs time, whatever, but that's something they'll deal with, and they'll tweak it, and eventually they'll perfect it to where once that gets perfected, because it's not going to go back. That's one thing you got to learn about life. No matter what you are used to or what you like or how you think things should be, life will never go back to the way it was. It never have, and it never will. So don't look for the $2. Don't look for the $1.50 gas per gallon. It's just not going back. It may not go up as much. What Biden say, you know, it's been sitting like this, you know, for months now. It don't matter. It skyrocketed, and it went down a little, then it go up, and it go down a little, and maybe a little, and then go up a little bit, but then it's like sitting like this. It never goes back down to here. So things will not go back to the way you think they should. So once the automation started, you should have known then it's time to change our way of thinking. Like I said, you gotta get into the STEM program. You get in it, get your kids into it, because she's talking about, are they gonna move them over to, you know, packing the groceries? Okay, you know, getting the, you know, people got orders. Let's say getting the orders and taking them, running them out to the cars, or getting the orders and delivering them to the houses. Y'all do know that they have, they're trying to create in mass production driverless cars, right? Y'all have seen these videos where they show where, and this was, like I say, in the warehouse, the robots, software will, people put orders in, the robots will pick that stuff up, pick it out, put it in boxes. They're figuring that out too, and then packing it up and shipping it out. Y'all do know they have drones that are doing deliveries now for like Amazon and UPS and stuff like that. Y'all understand this stuff is happening quick. This ain't like back in the day where every few years you get a PlayStation. Now they're making PlayStation every 10 minutes, or every, you know, once a year they come out with a new cell phone. Now every few months they upgrade cell phones and putting it out there to the people. Stuff is happening at an exponential rate these days, to where if you thought you couldn't keep up with what is going on, you definitely not going to do it now, because it's moving faster. The more they learn, the more they tweak it, and it's the people that's at their computers creating this software. They put something out, now they're back the next after lunch trying to figure out a way to improve it. But in the meantime, we're gonna put this out. But now that that's out, it's gonna make money. Now we're gonna try to improve it. That's what they're doing. And if you're out there, you know, pulling groceries, packing orders, it's only a matter of time before that job is gone too. So again, like I'm saying, this is something that everybody has to participate in. Even the consumers, even the community activists, even the pastors or whatever. Everybody's got to see what's coming. You have to see what's coming. And you're going to have to participate and find a way to build in this society. You can't sit here and cry and hope that your politicians are going to help fix the problem, because they're not. They can't, because politicians are fueled by money and PACs and people who financially support them. They're not going to help you out. Politicians are doing what they need to do to keep the economy going, not to make sure you personally have money and you personally can pay your bill, but as a nation, as a whole, whether it's right or wrong, or whether it's going to work in the long term or blow up, they're doing what they feel need to be doing. They need to do to keep the economy moving forward. If you pay attention to the stock market, it always goes up. Always. There's going to be times where the stock market will go down, lose a lot of points. Yes, that will happen. But if you look at the stock market as a whole over a long period of time, it always goes up. Companies can fold, but the stock market profits all the time. So don't sit here and think that it profits all the time, no matter what you are doing personally in your life. The economy is gonna grow, man. It just is. But anyway, I think that's all I'm gonna cover right here. I think I'm gonna cut this down because it's been going for a minute. Tell me what you think about this. I mean, but I want y'all to understand basically that all the protests, like I said, all the crying, boo-hooing, marching, it's not gonna do anything. You have to start at home. You have to do what you need to do to make sure that your household is taken care of. You start today. Yeah, it could take some time to, it's not going to be overnight. You're not going to sit down and learn computer stuff overnight. You're just not. Like I told you, there are many classes, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a college, like a little online place where you can learn all kind of stuff on coding. It's fairly affordable. You learn coding, like I say, a lot of STEM stuff. You got libraries that do programs in the summertime for kids. They got some programs you got to pay for, and sometimes you got to make an investment. That's the thing about it. If you're trying to improve your situation at home, you got to make investments, time-wise and monetarily. If you're not willing to do that, you're gonna be left behind. And it's not even the point of like leaving you where you stand. It's almost like they're where you're standing, you're gonna be left behind and moving forward, and they're just gonna even like push you even further backwards to primitive stages, worse than what you are already at, because you're not even be able to participate in life, in the world. You're not even gonna be able to, even be part of it at all. Like, they're not gonna need you. They already have a Taco Bell and a McDonald's. That's how I hear it. There's one out here somewhere. There's one up in, I think, Michigan or somewhere. Well, these places are fully automated. Fully automated. You know what fully automated means? That means the only people that's there are probably ones who stock the products, put it where it needs to go, and then the robots do the rest. And you'll order something, and then all of a sudden this thing order comes down out of a chute. Like remnants of the Jetsons. If y'all remember that cartoon. If you ain't seen the cartoon, watch that cartoon. And just kind of figure how it looked 20, 30, 40 years ago. 30, 40 years ago when it first came out. But that's where we are right now. And that's where we're going. Every day we're getting closer and closer to more automation, to where the majority of people are just, more people are getting poor, and they're just going to continue to get poor, man. Unless you make a change to stay at least, stay afloat. Anyway, that's all I have. Tell me what you think. Leave your comments below and then share it with the world. And with that being said, I'll leave you in peace. And I'll see you on the other side.